To the courts now, and 14 suspects accused of looting 2 billion rand from VBS Mutual Bank will appear in court. They include top Limpopo ANC officials. Pre-trial proceedings are beginning at the High Court in Pretoria. These include the setting of a trial date. The accused face 188 charges of theft, fraud, money laundering, corruption and racketeering. Let me take you to eNCA's Govan Whittles, who's tracking that story for us and joins us now live for an update. I see Govan just getting ready and not really on standby for us at the moment. All right, I'll tell you what, let me tell you, in fact, there's Govan there. Sorry, Govan, we had a bit of a glitch there for a moment. So we are at the stage where we're talking pre-trial proceedings, right? Tell me what that entails.
Well, it basically entails gathering the facts that are common cause between the state and the defense. It's basically what they agree upon. And an example of that would be, were you the bank manager at VBS during a certain period of time? And did you meet with this person at a certain period of time? Or did you instruct another person to deposit money at a certain time? And those would be the facts that both the defense and the state agree on. And what would be in dispute is why they did that or what the motivation would be. But we're off to an interesting start here, Tulasizwe. This matter has already been postponed to the 12th of October. That's the date they're setting down for the trial to begin. But they weren't able to agree on those matters of common cause because of the number of the accused who have changed legal representatives. So the new lawyers and advocates have to be furnished with the docket and go through the facts, and they'll arrange a pre-trial conference virtually on email on those sets of common cause facts, and then they'll proceed with the trial on the 12th of October. But this has been interesting because in the dock we have the treasurer of the Limpopo ANC structure, Danny Msiza, who has maintained that he believes that his prosecution in the VBS matter is for political purposes, meant to scupper his political ambitions or his plans to lead the ANC's treasury department in Limpopo. And we know he hasn't stepped aside either, despite being charged. So he's been one of the contentious people in the dock, but others include Chifiwa Matodzi and those that we saw appearing at Palm Ridge. And it looks like they'll be going to trial on the 12th of October, but the changing of legal representatives has meant another delay. The state, of course, saying that it believes it's ready, although it won't say how many witnesses it plans to call or which witnesses it plans to call, as it's still busy with that.
And just remind us, Govan, what the main thrust of the state's case is. I see that the charges include racketeering, which is a charge that talks to the running of a criminal enterprise and requires that there be more than one instance of people working in cahoots in the furtherance of the objectives of that criminal enterprise. So is it the allegation that VBS was pretty much as people thought they were depositing money into a mutual bank, at a particular point it was actually being run as a criminal enterprise with the participation of those accused there?
Indeed, the people that have been brought into the dock have been accused of looting the 2 billion rand of VBS through this systematic planned deposits which were made by some municipalities, and the state going further, alleging that politicians had encouraged some municipalities to make those deposits, and further on the falsification of the financial records of the VBS Bank was planned in order to give off an impression that it had a healthy financial status while the looting continued. That's the state's case, but more specifically, much of the state's case relies on the conviction of Philip Trutte, the former treasurer of the VBS Bank, who has turned state witness and has provided the gist of how this alleged criminal enterprise operated, which includes dates of meetings and correspondence in which they allegedly planned to loot these deposits and then give off the appearance that the bank was in a good financial position. Some of these accused have denied doing this. It's important to state that some allege that they weren't given an opportunity to respond to the report, The Great Bank Heist by advocate Terry Mutau. But others are saying that Philip Truter, who had turned state witness and is currently serving a term behind bars, has made serious falsifications in his affidavit to the state, and his testimony can't be trusted. That, of course, would have serious implications for Truter, whose jail term is based on him making true confessions to the state about how this alleged enterprise was run. But based on their appearance in Palm Ridge and some of the appearance here, it's clear that much of the state's case will rest on the evidence that they've been able to gather because of Truter's decision to turn state witness.
It always gets complicated, doesn't it, Govan, when one of the accused turns state witness and does what, we normally say, starts to sing like a canary. For that, I've got to thank you for now. That's eNCA's Govan Whittles out at the High Court in Pretoria there, tracking the VBS heist story there. The trial date has been set for the 12th of October, Govan tells us.